Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja 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 Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish 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 C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Abarera. Ecos. Ram. Ori. Banish. C10. Demonio. Dinaja. Abarera.
Hello, demons! Welcome to the Malice Experience. I'm, of course, Attius, or Mr. Malice. And all of you are the viewers. The demons. The lovely demons. I hope you guys are good. And, of course, look, it's everybody's favorite bottom.
Mystic Salon.
Uh-huh. So, happy to be here. I got some wine. I don't know what Mystic is drinking tonight.
Rum and Coke.
Ooh, there you go, rum. I got some rum downstairs.
Rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke, rock on.
Rum and
rock on.
cocaine. I mean, cola.
Whoops, that one slipped. All right,
Whoops.
yeah, we're 13 minutes in. I guess it's okay.
Shit happens.
You know, it's just rub a little on your gums.
Nummies.
So it is good to be back. TGIF, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, TGS. Wait, TSIF. There you go. That works. TSIF. Thanks, Satan. It's Friday. Fuck God. Anywho, I'm gonna go with George Carlin on this one. What George Carlin said about Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna apply that to God. Right? Fuck God. Fuck him in the ass with a big rubber dick and then break it off and beat him with the rest of it. There you go.
A little aggressive,
It is. It is.
but I like it.
All right? Exactly. It sounds
Sounds like
exciting.
a good time.
It does, right? You know? Yep.
That's hilarious.
God and Mickey were in a snuff film together. You guys didn't see that one? Woo, boy.
No comment.
I'll let you guys take bets of who you think killed who.
Mickey Mouse always wins in a fight.
Exactly.
I'm telling you. I've seen enough South Park. I know this.
Aaron, this is actually like the first half a glass that I've drank. It's just it's an electrifying evening.
I love paranormal. Welcome back to your channel, Malice. Awesome.
Right. So, Mystic, what goodies do you have for us this evening?
I was thinking about doing a couple of tarots, but I things have been messy at my house. Things are moved and in places that I'm not able to keep track of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't use the one I wanted to use, which was the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. I can't actually
that'd
find
be
it.
great.
So I'm trying to see, like, oh wait, I think I just saw it actually. Hold on. Oh, sorry, I just ran over a dog.
You haven't done the Nightmare Before Christmas one yet, have you?
What?
You haven't done the Nightmare Before Christmas one yet, have you? Have you?
I don't know. Did I? I had the Labyrinth too, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think you've done the Nightmare Before Christmas one yet.
I don't even know where the hell it is.
It was on your shelf.
I have, let's see, I have the Villains, Alice in Wonderland, the Labyrinth, Dungeons and Dragons, the Lord of the Rings, Garbage Pail, Stranger Things, that's a neat one. Supernatural, already said that one. Oh, I think it's right there. Of course, it's the last one.
We need to get some Halloween Town shit going, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be a good one. Got it.
It's spooky season. Let's
Yeah,
be
other weird ones
spooky.
there. The Garbage Pail one's pretty cool.
You showed us that one. That one you did do. That one was
Yeah,
a
no,
little-
I remember that one.
That was a little demented.
Nothing is more demented or Halloween than the Goracle, but I know I've already done that one. But
Yep.
let me tell you, that one is amazing. I love the Goracle, and I have probably, I would say 6 or 7 Halloween themed decks. Some of them are actually pretty good. So we'll do Tim Burton's Disney's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Written by Minerva. I love that name, and I don't know why. The Minerva Siegel and Abigail Larson, but Minerva, like
Is it Minerva or
just
Minerva?
this is it's just Minerva on here, but it totally screams wicked stepsister to me. All right, so we have a official licensed
Fuck yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. Watch it every year in the theater until COVID, really. Our cards are standard, what they call, I believe, GSM stock. It's not anything great. It's not whatever, but it's reversible back. I like it's kind of like it's a matte finish, but the colors are gloss. So there's some glossiness to it that I really like. So I guess semi gloss maybe. Um, they also are really good with the colors. So for example, the Queen of Presents. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
The way that they blacked out the card like in a really awesome matte dark black and then have the colors pop so much, pretty cool. In this deck you have presents, you have potions, you have needles, and let me find the other one, candles. So as you can imagine, candles are your fire, needles are your swords, presents is earth, and potions is water.
Okay.
So I'm going to do one of each. So this is the King of Candles.
Of course.
Of course. We've got the Seven of Needles. It always makes me think of drag, so I always think Sharon Needles with needles. Sharon Needles was awesome. We've got the Queen of Presents. I already showed that one. And the Seven of Potions. So,
oh, nice.
It's a neat deck. It's not like super expressive. It's definitely a Disney deck. I'm gonna have to shuffle a little bit because I have not used this deck very much.
So it's the major. So then the major arcana doesn't follow suit with the naming of like a traditional deck. Then
the major does actually. It's just they're charactered. So like Death is charactered. The Tower is on there. It's just Disney charactered.
okay.
So they're all in here. It's just the major, or I'm sorry, just the minor arcana suits that are different.
Okay.
But they follow the same, the same pattern or whatever you want to call it. Oh God, I was about ready to hum a Christmas song. I don't want to say I hate Christmas, but I'm not a fan of Christmas. I do not like red and green together.
No, stores down
ugly.
Stores down here already have Christmas decorations out. It's like, motherfucker, Halloween hasn't even happened yet. Can you please wait?
Same. Oh, I'm so excited. I got my fog machines out. Not going to do all out, but we are doing Silent Supper, which is like one of my favorite things to do all year. So that's nice. All right. Let's pull a couple cards. Ah, the Queen of Potions. She's so pretty.
Oh, there you go.
It reminds you of Celine Dion. I don't know why. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying it has that kind of the long face.
Uh-huh.
That's rude, I know.
Canadian reptile.
Canadian reptile, really? The Page of Potions. So we got 2 potions. Uh-oh, 2 potions. I don't know what that's going to mean. And the 2 of Presents. Like, that creeps me the fuck out. I don't know why. So, we have 2 potions and a present. So we've got water and earth. Water and earth go really well together. They're complementary.
They make mud.
They make mud, yes, but earth can shape a river and hold a river to itself, but a river can also destroy earth by, landslides, mudslides, and
Torrential
flooding.
downfall.
So while they can kind of control, yeah, that too. Don't get me started. So while those things can they're very complementary to each other, but they do tend to balance and control each other better than some other ones. So starting with knowing that we have a heaviness of potions in here, or a heaviness of water, means there's a lot of water in the next week or the next set of energy that's befalling us, and that is by far what I've been seeing all along. Like, I've been doing a lot of private reads and a lot of group reads as far as in our group. I don't want to call it our groups that we're in. And they're all fire, right? So they're very high fire, they're very high motion, high action. But we need the water to temper all the stuff that's been happening. So Queen of Potions. When I think of a Queen of Potions, it's a representative generally of a female influence or a female. So there's a lot of feminine need right now. This is somebody who's presenting themselves in a way that understands their emotions, lives by their emotions, and can really work hard on helping us manage our emotions. So look for the female in your life that is very calm, that is very connected, and that is very able to kind of help you also be connected. So we all should be looking for that mother type figure that's in our life that will kind of give us some calmness. But it's followed right up by the page. This is also a super creepy card, by the Page of Potions. Pages are a little bit foolhardy sometimes. They're the entry level person. They've just walked in the door. They're just getting started on doing their work with the water. So sometimes they go way overboard and sometimes they go way underboard. And as we know, both of those things can be catastrophic, right? So with your Page of Potions, this is probably you needing to listen to somebody else give you that guidance and actually pay attention to it so that we're not freaking out and going all overboard and shit. And what's good about it is it completely gets balanced out by your Two of Presents. So when we're looking at twos of, oh shit, the dog scared the shit out of me. Sorry, she came up between my legs on my chair.
Oh, wow.
And just, yeah, it's not normal. But anyway, so Two of Earth, I'm going to say Earth because it's just easier, is really representative of finding that other piece that keeps you stable. The other, I don't want to say leg, because if you think of legs, you're usually looking at four legs of a table for that kind of stability. But this is looking for that second piece that adds stability to whatever structure, thing, earth, whatever it is you're doing. So in a nutshell, in order for us to have some stability and find it, we've got to be listening to the feminine in our life and listening and reacting properly to the emotions that are going around us right now. So it's going to be an emotional week, which I think it's going to be anyway, but very positively emotional. It's not a like overwhelming. This isn't a week of crying. This isn't a week of sadness. It's just a week of, let's listen, let's talk, let's get out what we need to get out. Let's have our conversations. Let's process. Let's move forward. Because there is a shit ton of fire coming, which is a good thing, but it's on its way. So
There you go.
Merry Nightmare Before Christmas.
I want to see some of the other major arcana before we pack it up, though. I want to see like the devil. And, yeah.
Maybe you should just buy the deck.
Awesome.
I didn't think I mentioned today today was the end of my fire. So like I literally screamed and probably yelled at every single person I work with all day, and told a whole bunch of people off. So it's been so freeing because I can do that because I'm up, But so here's Temperance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's hard to see it, but you can see if at first when you look at it, it's very not uncomfortable, but it's very weird. But then you can actually notice there is a person in the background.
Sally.
It is Sally, yes. I was going to ask the chat, but whatever. But yeah, but the thing that stands out the most to me is the patchworkness of Temperance in this particular thing. Now, when we talk about Temperance, obviously, we're looking at, to me, people think first of balancing the emotions, because that's really what Temperance is. It's kind of balancing it, but it's more than that. It's alchemy and transformation of using elements to make things into something else or stronger than they were before. You temper a blade, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I like the patchwork in here because it just reminds me of all the different pieces that go into it. Wheel of Fortune is super cool.
Oh, nice.
Wheel of Fortune. Trying to spin it. So, yeah, Wheel of Fortune, I don't know why, but it's my least favorite card. Because I think it's a bullshit card.
Okay.
And maybe it highlights bullshit, for sure, but it's like, meh. You might get lucky, you might not. It might work, it might not. Don't count on a yes or no answer when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune. If Wheel of Fortune shows up, for me, it's always a wild card. It just means who knows.
Right.
The sun. This is the best sun ever in any deck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Jack. Yeah.
It. Of course it is. I don't know where my Jack. I have a Jack Stickman somewhere. I don't know what happened to him. Dog probably ate him.
Mm.
I don't. Let's see if I can come across any. Oh, High Priestess is my favorite. I only say this a lot, but Magician High Priestess, my two favorite cards. This is also one of my, I would say, top High Priestess cards too. Again, it's the patchworkness
Yeah.
that appeals. When you think of the High Priestess, that the Magician is the do your magic, manifest it. The High Priestess is, yeah, but smartly. She's the one keeping the fool from jumping off the bridge and getting hit by the train. Devil, that's a good one too. All right,
Oogie boogie.
oogie boogie. Mm.
Of course, Oogie boogie would be the devil.
Of course. Let's see. Presents. Do I have any more good ones in here? Paranormal, Wheel of Fortune can mean whatever you feel like it means when you're reading, but traditionally it usually means or can mean if it's inverted like a run of bad luck, or if it's upside upside it usually means like whatever you're working on is going to have a fulfilled end. It's going to have it's going to be fixed. It's going to be done. But I read Wheel of Fortune as a wild card. So if somebody says, should I get married to blah blah blah? If the Wheel of Fortune comes up first, maybe is always the answer. Judgment. This will be the last one. I think Judgment's pretty cool. Santa Claus. I mean yeah.
No death card.
There is a death card. I literally just went by it, but I don't know where it went. The Fool, of course, is Jack. I did just see the death card too. When I was shuffling, I don't know. The Fool is Jack, like I said, of course.
Right, exactly. Nice one though. I like it with 0.
Yeah, 0 has got to be one of the best too. But the thing I like about it, Jack is a better representation of the Fool than anybody would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hanged Man.
That naivety.
Yeah. And they're just like a general goodness with the expectation that it's supposed to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell did it go?
It was
it's a neat death one.
I ate it.
It's neat for death. I can't even freaking talk. Found Justice. The star is 0. I didn't notice that.
Nice.
Cute. Justice. Jack again. Of course, it's like the third to the last card, Death. I'm actually. I don't think that's they could have done better.
Yeah. Just a graveyard's kind of.
Yeah, I get it, but they could have definitely done better with that one. But there we go.
Excellent.
So this is a cute deck. I could actually use this to read. Like it's expressive enough, I think. It'd be this would be the deck I would use to read. Like I think I'm gonna bring it out at Christmas. Like this would be a good actual Christmas deck.
Well, Christmas and Halloween. It's got both of them covered. I think that's like the good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think people would probably expect it for Halloween.
You think so?
Yeah. I love this movie. I want to see it again. It's been too long. I'll put it.
Oh, it's a good film. Definitely a good film.
Yeah, it's my it was my ringtone for God knows how long, like 10 years. Sally song.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That was my ringtone up until just very recently. I switched it to. I love Amy Lee like obsessively.
You're talking about the redone version of it.
Oh yeah, the redone version. Well, the Sally song you can't like the actual one. You can't get it as a ringtone because it's licensed or whatever, and they didn't make it.
Okay.
So I didn't have an option with that because I would have gone for the original for sure.
So
still good. But
definitely. No, I mean definitely. I mean I definitely enjoy Marilyn Manson's version of Halloween.
How, yeah, that's it. Oh my God. I gotta drink more. Sorry.
We need more alcohol, people. So I have an unpopular opinion, at least what I think would be an unpopular opinion that I want to share with share with everybody here. So I don't know what rock I was living under, but I had no fucking clue who the hell Anna Delvey was. Right, I had no fucking idea who the hell Anna Delvey was.
Googling now. Who's that?
Look, he doesn't even. I don't know what rock I was living under. So but I just finished watching the limited series on Netflix, Inventing
yeah,
Anna.
I remember this. Sorry, go ahead.
So I had no idea who the fuck she was, and so I watched the show, and I'm assuming this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm an Anna Delvey fan. I'm a fan of Anna Delvey. I mean, yeah, like shady as fuck, like the shit that she did, but you gotta give her credit. You know, coming from like a practically like a poor immigrant family, dropping her ass in the middle of New York City, and
I still don't see why people are so pissed off about it. I mean, you should be embarrassed if you got conned, but she's fucking smart.
yeah,
Like she left hand past that shit.
yes, she did. That's like manifestation on a whole other fucking level, people.
She wanted it and she freaking made it happen.
And that is exactly why I'm bringing it up. You know, like
she definitely hailed herself. Yes.
Oh
she
yeah,
did.
oh yes, she did. You know, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan, like, because she saw what she wanted. She saw where she wanted to be, and she put herself there. She put herself in the fucking middle of it, like seemingly out of fucking nowhere.
I can't quite call myself a fan because she did fuck over a lot of people, and that's kind of like a nah. But I can totally see where, you know, she is a poster child for manifestation. But she's also getting some negative. She's getting some karma back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So-
but it could have been a lot worse for her.
It could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
You know, and the thing is the only thing I'm curious about. The only thing that I'm curious about is if she would have gotten that money, if she would have gotten that $20 or $40 million from the bank.
Cancun. See y'all later. Bye.
Right, I'm curious. I'm curious because she seemed like, I don't know if the series is like a true one-to-one kind of like how she is as a person.
It's
You know?
Netflix, right?
Yeah.
I'm
So
pretty sure it's yeah.
you know, or they took artistic liberty with it or whatever, but she seemed pretty dead set on doing that fucking the Anna Delvey Foundation thing. Now, who the fuck knows if it would have been successful, but she had some of the top tier fucking people in New York City willing to jump on the bandwagon with this fucking thing.
Yeah, it was
You know,
something. For
Like
sure.
architects, chefs, like, you know, people in the art world. Like she had top tier fucking people ready to go fucking in on it. So I'm curious. The only thing I'm curious about is if she would have gotten to that point, would she have actually set up the foundation? And then if she actually set up the foundation, I mean, is it a? I mean, I guess lying to the bank saying that you have assets that you don't have, that aspect of it is a crime. But if she's able to pay back the, you know, that 40 million with the revenue that's pulled in off of the foundation, at the end of the day, who really gives a shit, you know?
Uncle Sam.
True. I don't know.
Taxes.
I
That's
don't
who
know.
cares.
I don't know. I just thought I binged watched the whole fucking thing, and it's like exactly what Mystic said. It's like, dude, talk about major manifestation. Like, especially when you get towards the end of the series, you see her doing these vision boards at like when she was a kid, right? She took these like, you know, pieces of, you know, cardboard and cut, you know, images of people out of fashion magazines and then replaced their faces with her face, right?
He worked it. That's sympathetic magic right there too.
Yeah. You know, like, I mean, she was all into that shit without even fucking realizing it. And like, I think maybe the execution was a little questionable, right? I think that's where we run into a problem is the execution. But the fact that
Yeah.
she had something in her head when she got into New York City of where she wanted to be, and she fucking lived it every fucking day. Every fucking day she was there, she lived it. So I know that a lot of people are going to throw a lot of shade and a lot of hate because just like what Mystic said, and I completely agree, she fucked over a lot of people and she's getting her karma. She's getting her, her karma for that. But when I talk about manifestation, that's the thing with manifestation. You got to make fucking moves, people. You got to make moves.
It's called Inventing Anna, by the way.
Yeah.
If anybody I saw Paranormal's question. It's not really a documentary. I don't know that you could actually call it that, but it's a pretty good show. Like it's pretty interesting.
So yeah, go ahead, Mystic.
No, I was just gonna say Inventing Anna, and I don't want to forget Sad World's question. It was prior to the Anna discussion, but it's a really good one.
Go for it. What is it?
And it kind of does bring in the thought of sympathetic magic too, but and I'm gonna rephrase it in a, what do you call it? Whatever. I don't give a shit. So if I've been dealing with negativity and just basic bad luck, I try to stay positive. It's hard to mean it for sure. Can I fake it in a sense to try to attract positivity?
Oh God, it fits perfectly.
Yeah. So I think yes. My personal, just off the top of my head, without deep dive, yes, you can fake it to attract some positivity, but at some point you have to pivot over and recognize that that's what you're doing, and it has to change into something that's actually real, or you will end up in that imposter syndrome situation. Yeah, it really does fit, doesn't it?
It does. It does. 100%. So I think with the whole Inventing Anna thing, I think there's a few things that kind of went overboard, right, with the manifestation aspect of it. She wanted so badly, from at least from what the series represents. I don't know anything beyond what I saw in the series. But one thing that I see in there is I think there's a few things that she definitely went overboard. That she wanted so badly to be somebody that she had to create this entire world around herself, right, of her prior existence, in order to fit in with the people that she wanted to fit in with, and completely ignoring where she actually came from. And I think with a lot of people, especially with me, like, I respect you more. Like, I don't give a shit where you come from, but like, I respect you more if you keep, right? The thing with Anna Delvey and her manifestation of her desires, I would go as far as to say I think that because she completely let go of all sense of reality of what was truly her past is the reason why everything burned to the ground. She wanted it so bad, so fast that it doesn't last. It's not going to last. You build something up that quickly, completely surrounded with no actual foundation, so it's only a matter of time before, shit kind of falls through the floor, right? And I think there's a lot of bad decisions. I guess, one of the banks ended up giving her $200,000 credit line. Motherfucker, I would have bought a goddamn house instead of fucking, like, I would have took $100,000. Like, I mean, fuck, go to Jersey, drop $100,000 and buy a house. So you're not living in fucking hotels. Then take another, I don't know, 25,000 and throw some furniture in the fucking thing. You still got 75 grand to fucking blow off, with your friends and, shit like that, right? But so I think that there were some, bad decisions. I think she was too hung up on that 20-40 million she was supposed to be getting from the other bank. And the situation that happened, she ended up going to fucking Morocco Uh, fucking. But when it comes to manifestation, I think when it comes to the things that you want, I think you do have to be like going with what I think said. I think Obscura said it.
Sad world.
Obscura
Oh, I don't
is that
know.
you do have to be a little delusional.
Yeah.
You have to
I,
be a little delusional with your
I
manifestation.
I just think it's important, like, the something in my brain is trying to explain it, and I don't know how to get it out right. Where we talk about like fake it till you make it. So if I fake it, or if I have in effect a delusionalness
Hmm.
to what I'm trying to do to try to get to a place that is positive or higher vibration or whatever you want to call it, and reshaping of habits. There's a moment. It's not even when you're quote unquote faking it. You're not faking it. You're making mental adjustments to try to get yourself in a better space. I mean, that is a physical change.
Yes.
So I don't know that faking it is the right phrase. You may think it's fake, and that's probably why it feels wrong or doesn't feel like it's working, because you're thinking of it as fake when truly it's not. It's not even fake. It's actually real. You're just not giving it enough credit for yourself.
Yep.
Because you have to change your mindset to do something before you can actually do something. No matter what you think, you can never do something without thinking it first. Whether it's lifting your hand or walking outside, you can't. None of those things happen without a thought first. You may not be conscious of that thought sometimes, um, but that's part of the manifestation of change, I think.
Yeah. I
So it's
mean,
not really fake. So it's not even like that's. I think that's selling yourself short, I guess, is where I was headed with that.
yeah. I'm with it. That um, you know, um, you know, I think there's a certain level where you're faking it, um, but you're only faking it at a certain point to kind of already put yourself into that mental, right? Like that's the idea. Like you're
Yeah,
already.
I don't like the faking it thing. I wonder if there's a better word for it, because um when you fake it to the point where you feel like a fraud, which one was the fake? And it gets all gooey from
Well,
there.
I think the fake it till you make it part. I think talking about like it has to be mental state, right? Because the thing is I'm not gonna sit here like if I want a Ferrari Testarossa, right? I'm not gonna sit here and tell a bunch of people that I have a Ferrari Testarossa when I don't. Right? I'm not gonna do it, right? Um, but I am gonna try to put myself into the right mental state to understand what are the things that I need to do in order to obtain that goal, and to kind of put my brain into that position and kind of like act out that direction, right? Um, so I think it's putting yourself into like that mental state, saying this is already mine, or it is, right? And I know we're getting very dangerously close to what the hell is the name of that movie? That self-help movie, like sending out energy to the universe and it comes back to you. What the fuck is that thing called? There's a whole movie and a book about it, and I can't remember
The
this. The
Secret.
Secret. I think it's The Secret. Shit like
Yeah.
that. We're
I don't
getting.
know. Every time that movie comes up, I always think The Secret, and then the next thing in my head is of NIMH. If anybody gets that reference, like,
So we're getting dangerously close to like the secret territory. But
you can't just speak something and it's going to exist for you, but you can't get to something that you don't speak into your existence. That's how I feel.
exactly. Well, you got to make moves, and that's one of the reasons why like I'm a fan of that aspect of the whole Anna Delvey is that god damn man she just fucking made moves. Like she forced herself into situations in a way that, like, I mean, she had like that air about her that people that were in that circle wanted to be around her. Right? She made it so they wanted to be, by pretending like she didn't want to be around anybody. It's insane, you know. And I think it's a very good example of real world manifestation. You want to be a director, you want to work in films, you want to be an actor, right? An artist. You got to start surrounding yourself with those people. You got to start making those moves, work yourself into the community, you know?
And I was watching something, and I have the same issue that this person has, and it's imposter syndrome, and I think people have probably heard of it before and have really, I don't know how much people go into it, but you get to this point where you feel like, am I really able or capable of doing this? Is this really where I'm supposed to be? Is this, am I really the person that's in control of this? I think of these things all the time, and that's a confidence issue, right? Thinking that, there's no way these people can think that I should be in charge of this many things, because they're dumb. Because if they knew what I know about me, they wouldn't give me the keys to a, Ford Escort 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that thought process, but it goes both ways. In one manner, it has an anxiety to it that allows us to evaluate where we are and where we want to be. On the other hand, it can freeze you from doing anything at all. So from the Anna Delvin perspective, or Delvey, Madam, now I'm thinking Madame Lalaurie. But from that perspective, inventing Anna, at some point it becomes a sickness, a pathology of what she's doing, regardless, of who she hurts, if she hurts anybody or not. She's like you said earlier, she's no longer in touch with reality. There's a pathology to it where it's not beneficial for her or for anybody else, and that's common, and it's going to happen if you are delusional. And truly, there is very fine line between desiring and manifesting something and moting it to be, and the flat out delusion. I, for example, have a relatively scientific brain, and I think often I actually feel like I can talk to trees. Like, I actually talk to trees. And I'm like, and I can't explain it. Am I delusional? Like, do I have a mental disorder? And that pops into my head every once in a while, and I have to think about it, and I have to reconcile it. And the only way to reconcile it is really to leave half of it as unknown or open. And that's kind of what we have to do if we want to get to a new place. It's you cut half of whatever it is, you're in like a capsule, right? And you need to get into something bigger, so you cut half of it off with the hope that it grows and you can extend out further. And that's a problem that is often for me. And I don't know if, I'm assuming other people experience that, where you're just kind of stuck. You can't go to the next thing or the next level or the next piece without making a hole with which to grow through, because the current environment is completely stifled. And when you do that, it's scary. It creates anxiety. It can be a delusion if it ends up running you to the point where you no longer know what's real and what isn't. Um, but it certainly is a lesson in manifestation. But we all know we're not going to go out and manifest $1 million by saying, I have $1 million in my hand, give it to me now. That's delusional.
Yep.
Yep.
Yet
we're kind of saying that's what you should do.
For yourself.
Because when you do that, well,
Not
yeah,
publicly.
when you do that, the idea is when you do that in your brain starts doing things, and you start setting up the actions to get to that thing, if that's what you're looking for. Because truly anything's possible if you want it. You have to do the actions to get it. But
Yeah. So and this is going to bring me into kind of like the main topic of what I kind of wanted to talk about. The first and foremost, I want to talk about invocation, evocation. Okay? I want to kind of, Step our toes into that water. First and foremost, English language. Invocation and evocation can be used interchangeably, first and foremost, on the basis, like when we talk just linguistically, right? Now, I know that in the occult, we have a tendency of having um, a defined difference between invocation and evocation, which generally um, presents itself as invocation being calling something into you and evocation being calling something around you, right? So that being said, we're going to go with those definitions, those differences, right? So we everybody happy. But invocation, evocation is part of manifestation, right? You do ritual work. You speak the words. You try to call something to. So for the first thing I want to do is I want to ask Mystic. Mystic, have you ever tried to like invoke or evoke something, like to
Yes,
manifest, and was it successful?
for sure.
Willing to elaborate and tell us a story?
I mean, the first easy story that comes to mind is actually not my story, but I'm not going to share that one. Rook should at some point. He has before. Um, but first, even to back it up, it's a little bit difficult for me because I was always taught a little bit differently between invoke and evoke. Evoke for me has always been a feeling. An evoke, even if you're evoking something else, you are casting a feeling outward. Because we always learn to E for exit, right? And then the invocation is when you are trying to awaken something and or have something kind of bid for you or do for you. So evocation would be like, "Hey, come and hang out with me and oversee and see what I'm doing." And invocation would be, "Satan, come here and do my bidding, and I will sign a pact for you." So those things were how I was originally taught, and that's not how I feel now. I'm just saying that's kind of the setting for the story. Um, so there were, I don't want to give too much detail either because the people are still around. Like, well, I mean, they're not dead or anything, and I doubt they're watching, but when I first got into spiritualism and being paying attention to the things that are going around me, there was something that I really wanted to happen in my life. It was probably not the best way to use that energy um, to bring somebody into my life that I was trying to make happen, and did some spell work with a friend of mine named Adana. She is actually the one I was talking about earlier that gave me my first tarot deck that made the tarot deck. And we did some work, and she warned me. We did some things, but we did an invocation. We did an invocation of Hecate. We did an invocation where we did a spell work, and we brought about actual images that where we did not talk at all to each other, yet we described and wrote down in our writings, because that's how we did our stuff after we did our workings, that were exactly the same. We had the same images, the same path, the same words, the same everything. So it was literally we were doing that working together in silence with some music, and that was the result. Ultimately, what manifested was exactly what I wanted, which 3 years later bit me in the ass so hard. Um, let's just say that that individual is not within 1,200 miles of me at any given moment, and they know better because, yeah. But the invocation itself was truly about the spirit and the deity for me at that point, and bringing them in as and I don't like it. Like I don't like that process from the way I learned it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer now what other people have explained to me as evocation or evoking, which is bringing them into presence with what we're doing, as opposed to waking them from a deep slumber and asking them to bid for you. But again, that's a different understanding that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the easiest one I can think of off the top of my head. Now, there's many times where we've done spell work and things have manifested, but they're much more nowadays. For me, they're much more insidious. They're much more. That's a terrible word to use there, but it's the right feeling. They're more they create. Oh, insidious, I guess, is the best word for it. Manifestation now is very insidious. They don't. It doesn't happen when I want it to or when I think it should. It happens when it's supposed to, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I honestly like my experience with, you know, evoking or evoking, um, it's pretty hit or miss. Um, obviously, um, the things that, for me, generally speaking, the things that have presented themselves to me or have, materialized to a certain degree, um, did so without my asking, right? That's kind of like my experience. I guess it was more of a situation of need rather than want, right? And certain things presented themselves to me um, by manifesting themselves physically at the appropriate times when I guess that um so Mystic, I'm curious, do you think that somebody, just kind of starting out in the craft on their path, do you think that they should be trying to do you know the craft style like evocations or invocations
Sure,
right
it's a
off?
good way to learn is to fuck it up.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't know. Like I never experienced a craft style process as far as the way that it looks in the movies.
I
But
don't
I
think
as
anybody
a
has. I don't think anyone
Yeah,
has.
yeah. But I mean, as a beginner, I have been with a group of more experienced people that has participated in things that have changed my life that I would not, re-explain to anybody because it's nobody's business. I've had experiences. I've had more experiences in the last couple of years with my current group. I than I have in a long time, but it's different. It just when you get to a certain level of practice, things just are
Yes.
as part of your practice. When you do them, it's no longer, oh, I'm going to do this and we're going to see this and this is it's we are getting together for Silent Supper. I will tell you, last year, Silent Supper, which is the Samhain tradition, we did it last year for the first time. I've known about it, but it's the first time we actually did it as part of the Samhain thing, and we manifested some shit at this meeting with the whole group of us. Like people were randomly crying, getting up, screaming. It felt like we were having freaking, like, I don't know, there was poison in the drinks. And we went through some emotions and we went through to some places, and it was amazing. And it was true manifestation of ancestor magic, and it did something to us, and we've had that experience. And I think anybody looking on it from outside would have thought, oh my God, these people are on fucking shrooms. But we weren't. Um, but it's those kind of experiences that I've learned that actually have an effect now, because what they do is they change my mindset. They work on me magically and allow me to do things differently. So I think if a beginner wants to go out and try to, light as a feather, stiff as a board, go for it. You're going to be sorely upset because that's just not what it is. Or yes, you can go out and use magic if you have the confidence for it, and you can use it wrong and it can bite you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter though. Like if you're a beginner, that's not what matters. What matters is if what's in your heart is the right thing, then that's how it's going to be. And if what's in your heart is to hurt and do shit, you're going to get shit eventually. So it's not so much the beginner status to me that matters. It's more of
The intention.
uh, the intention and your, well, more than intention, absolutely, but a little more than that. Insofar as, even if you don't have your intention like listed out, like I know I want to do X, Y, and Z, and my intent is to be positive and do good and da da da, whatever. Even if it's not spelled out, if what's ultimately behind it is good intent, even if it's a bad choice, I
Mm-hmm.
think you'll be fine for the most part. You might get things in a weird way. I would, like I said, Brad has a story. He's gonna have to share it again at some point because I don't think he's talked about it in quite a long time. He got exactly what he wanted, exactly when it should happen, and it fucked everything up for months. It was bad.
But
but
eventually
I'm
it
not
worked
telling
out.
his story. Yeah, eventually it worked out, but it wasn't what he originally was manifesting for, you know? But it was the right thing ultimately where it was supposed to be. So it's what's behind that intent, even more so than just the intent itself, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, most
Um,
definitely.
the big thing that's changed for me practice wise as I'm older is things don't have to be near as perfect. Um, I can spend more time doing the social part and enjoying the company of others, and just being with a group is magic in itself. And then how much more magical the small things are, like how magical a sunset is, or a sunrise, or being above the clouds during a sunrise is an amazing thing. If you fly as much as I do, I've seen sunrise, sunset, storms, the whole 9 yards above the clouds. Is different. You know, it reminds me of what's his name? William Shatner went to space, right? And there's this thing that happens for people, and astronauts are trained for it. That people come back with this weird, and there's a word for it. I can't remember what it is. It's not depression, but it looks like depression. It looks like sadness. But it's really just a profound acknowledgement of how big and small we are at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think of the word. It's somewhere, but I got all existential. My bad.
No, but I mean, it definitely makes sense. I mean, I think I don't want to come in here and start bringing like start throwing shit out there, saying bullshit, actually seeing shit or hearing shit. Um, I'm gonna be completely honest with most of you. I in my personal experience, the likelihood of you actually seeing something or actually hearing something is slim. Let's be
It
completely
depends on the
honest.
person, though, because
I mean,
and
it
it depends on
does.
your preparation.
But at the same time, I don't want people. I don't want people going into the craft with this idea that it's gonna be fucking
Oh, they
the
will.
craft. It's gonna
They
be
will.
because that's not what it is. It's not.
You got you got to find your thing though. Like you find what it is that gets you to that place. It's funny when we do ritual. Brad likes it completely, and Brad Rook are the same person. If anybody wants to know, I switch back and forth with you. But complete silence. He don't want anything. I want drumming and I want rhythmic tones. I and that music it literally puts me into a trance, and I see all kinds of shit. Um, but I'm not levitating anybody. That's for sure. Although that would be nice.
Yeah, no. The light as a feather, stiff as a board. I don't actually like. I can't even say like how many people have actually told me that they've actually done that and they've actually floated. And I'm like, you are so full of shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you are fucking delusional. You are out of your mind. It is a kitty. It's a
Some
kitty.
people, there is some thought to this in metaphysical circles that if we are all together and we are all on the same vibration, we are all thinking the same way in a group setting, and we are attempting to levitate, the levitate could potentially happen. And I'm getting all crazy out here. I'm just putting it out. I'm gonna say it. There is some discussion that maybe that is occurring in a similar plane or universe or parallel universe that's right there that we can now tap into because our energies are balanced. It's like all of the cutouts lined up for just a second that we all saw the levitation happen at the same time, even though on this plane it didn't. It did on the other, and that had a profound emotional effect. I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just saying that's a thing. So, and it makes me wonder, like, how much of that is true? And then it makes me wonder, aren't we all just fucking delusional because all we're seeing is an upside down version that our brain has flipped over of light bouncing off of objects that doesn't even exist, right? So then we get like everything matters and nothing matters at all, and then everybody gets depressed, and yeah.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, I think that like if people are looking for like
Hey,
this
Dragon.
this
You
Hollywood,
started that one.
yeah, this Hollywood style, you know, worship,
Charmed.
yeah, like this
It
fucking
was even worse.
circle jerk blowing fucking fireballs out of your
Ooh,
goddamn hand
what
and shit.
what channel is that? The Circle Chart. Where is that at?
Fucking missed it. You know, so
But no, I agree with you. There's the two things that people like to do is adding the pomp and circumstance, which is not necessary. You can do it if you like. Like it's not a bad thing to do. I'm just saying it's not a requirement. Um, but that Hollywood version, be very very disappointed if that's what you're looking for, unless you're an actor.
well, and the thing is like the reason I'm trying to call it out, right, is because it's part of the reason why we're looked at as like a fucking joke most of the time. Because when you sit there and you tell somebody, yeah, I'm a witch or I'm a pagan, and if they actually know what a pagan is, you surprise the amount of people pagan means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sit there and say, wait, so you fly around on broomsticks? Like that's the fun one, right? Like they come back at you with that one. So you
I
fly
do
around
have
on a
flying
broomstick.
ointment.
There you go.
Would you like to? No, I'm just kidding.
You know, so I'm just kind of like, this is one of the reasons why I'm calling it out. If you're coming, if this is like, if this podcast is your first connection, your first touch of the craft, what the craft is, whether it's left hand path or otherwise, don't don't come into this expecting some Freaky Friday type shit. Like, come into this wanting to expand yourself. Come into this wanting to be the best possible version of yourself for you. Right? That's what I can tell you this is about. Right? Being the best possible version of yourself for you and not for others. The beauty of this path is, you know, you're not going to church dressed in your Sunday best, right? Trying to, you know, have a theological fashion show, you know, with the priest giving away cookies and wine, which is supposed to be the body and
That creeps me the fuck out.
right, the body and blood of another human being. Cannibalism. You know, just saying, right? You are eating circular pieces of another human and drinking their blood. If that doesn't constitute a fucking cannibal, I don't know what the fuck. You know, I mean, fuck. I mean, you guys make Dahmer look fucking tame. So don't come into it looking looking for that, looking for that type of, you know. Now,
Magic definitely gets better as you age.
yes, because like you're not you're not expecting like, you know, the sparks and flare. You know, you understand that manifestation is very different. You know, and it's much better when you understand that the things that you're manifesting, the things that you're invoking or evoking, you know, are for you and not for other people. Don't do an invocation or evocation expecting, you know, Lucifer to pop up in a giant fireball in the middle of your pentagram on the fucking floor, you know, with, you know, big horns twirling his tail around like, you know, like an aristocrat, you know. No, don't expect that. But what you can expect, at least in my experience, when you do invocation or evocation, is you can expect it to come to you in a dream. You can expect it, you know, you can expect it to come to you, you know, during meditation. You know, that voice, that idea, that inkling, that sensation. And when it does, go with it. Don't question it, because Mystic has said this to me many times. You either believe it or you don't, because if you start to question it and try to figure out how to, you know, make it logical, you're going to make it logical, and you're going to take the magic away from yourself. So allow things to happen the way that they do happen, but just don't expect, you know, giant flaming circle to open up on your floor and demons to start crawling out of it. Not how it works. Right?
In a sad world, that's the magic. Like, like I can't tell you how much magic has been transformative for me in such tiny, 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 tiny little doses that you don't even realize are happening. When you look back, you're like, well, holy fuck, that was magic.
Mm-hmm.
Because you start learning that magic with the life in it, you know, is what guides you to the path, and that everybody thinks of, like, you know, I want to find my path. I'm lost in the world and I'm trying to figure out where my path is, and then eventually you realize that the path is the path, right? It's not about where you're headed to. It's just the path, and it doesn't matter if it goes left or right or up or down or in or out or light or dark. It's the path.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else just kind of works on that process, and you continue forward with it.
I do find that funny when people say this. Like, I'm trying to find motherfucker, you're on it already.
Yeah, your path right now is just a little cloudy. We need to clear some brush. Let's get the weed whacker out.
Yeah.
You know?
So
But it's a good thing. It's a good thing to want to find yourself, though. Like, you want to have a direction, but be okay with the direction without, like, the whole GPS. Just be okay with the direction. That's I think the best advice that was ever given to me is, you know, don't worry about having the exact point on the map where you're going. Just be glad that you're on the path and not in the bush, and be glad that you have a direction, north, south, east, west, to go, and you'll be fine.
Yep. You know, it's just like, just let shit happen. You know, just go for it. And no, Noella, Lucifer can't make babies with you. Sorry. You know.
Talk about the one on the TV show, because, I mean, they could try.
So, but I like the bushes. Well,
yeah, you would.
I'm not
if the bushes are where you need to be, then that's your path. Your path will be full of bushes.
I don't like bushes.
I've been fighting with bushes lately. Cleaning out the tree, like, my legs are just cut up as crazy. It's insane. So I'm not happy with bushes.
I'm just
right now.
I was gonna say, like, I don't like bushes because I don't like picking shit out of my teeth. But, you know, all right.
See, I can't agree with that. So.
Oh. Not my cup of tea. Good people, not my cup of tea. Come on, it's the Malice experience. What the fuck did you expect? All of you shitting going, oh,
No.
Did he just say, yes, I fucking did. Cheers.
I'm gonna try. I'm not a big fan of cow's milk. I'm going somewhere with this. Don't worry. I'm just not a fan of cow's milk. I like almond milk and all that stuff, but none of those are good in drinks, right? By themselves, I like them. Like, I will drink almond milk, oat milk, any kind of nut milk.
Goat milk? Did you say goat milk?
Yeah, goat milk's fine. All of them by themselves. No, not goat milk. I'm sorry. All of the nut milks. I hate saying nut milk. It is what it is. I like all nut milk, period.
Next episode,
Yeah.
Mystic is going to show us how to milk a nut.
No matter which way you go, I like nut milk. But I'm not a big fan of animal milk, but they're the only ones that are good. I think when you mix them or heat them with other things, right? Like, I cannot do, like, almond milk in coffee or drinks. It just is disgusting. But anyway, we can take it to R and X real fast. Don't worry about that. We've already been R and X and back. Well, not X. We've been R and back. But so I kind of forgot my point, but I do know it involved magic potions. One of the things that I really enjoy is herbs.
Nut milk is potions.
Nut milk is a potion. Yes, it is. There is a tribe, more than one tribe, that to become a man in the tribe, and they are all non-homosexual, by the way, they have to ingest the semen of another person in their tribe in order to be elevated to the next status of adulthood. It's not weird for them, so sounds like a place I would like to live. But my point is, herbs, potions, you find the things that you really enjoy that you like, and you use that towards your magic, right? Wait. If you like potions, you like herbs, you like those things, then you work on those things. If you like being out in nature, if you like trees, utilize those things to guide your magic.
So
yes,
the one thing I gotta clear up here, because in order to become a man in the tribe, you have to drink the semen of another person. The only thing I'm picturing in my head is fucking Mystic. Timmy, are you ready to become a man?
Terrible.
Come here, Timmy.
But just don't heat it because it's gross heated. So where I was headed with that, a really roundabout story, is find the thing that you enjoy to make your magic work, right? And so for me, one of those things is herbs. I like to make blends to burn at our meetings and things. So we'll make all kinds of different incenses and stuff. It's super fun. And fuck Timmy, not literally.
That was kind of the idea, right?
Yeah. But the next thing I'm going to try is using and heating milk, and instead of making chai tea is I love chai tea.
Yeah, chai tea is
making
good.
it with milk.
Yes,
and
very good with milk.
We're going to steep and simmer with different herbs and things to kind of see what those flavors are. But yeah, no, like I get chai tea all the time, no water, which is people think it's weird, but it's chai tea steeped in milk. It's really good.
Yeah, no, chai tea with fucking
Anyway,
milk is
like that whole weird thing was all about, find the thing that you really like to do and figure out how the magic works for that, and that will take you to your next level.
Just like, hanging out with Timmy.
Just like Timmy.
Oh shit, that's great. That's great.
Dirty chai is disgusting. By the way, you ever had a dirty chai?
No, what's a dirty chai?
Ooh, it's nut milk. No, I'm just kidding. It's a chai tea with a shot of espresso. It's gross. I don't think I would like nut milk in my tea. I will tell you, I do not like nut milk in my coffee. And we are talking almond milk, oat milk, just for the record. I don't like it. Like, it just doesn't taste good in a hot drink. I clarified.
I know you did, but that's still another thing. Like, I'm just imagining it in the morning. Rook, come here.
I don't know what it is, but it's like, it's seriously though, like, I can't drink regular milk plain. It's disgusting. And I love almond milk plain, but I can't drink almond milk and coffee, but I love milk and coffee. It's just weird. Can't do both.
Oh, that's great. That's tough.
From evocation to main elixir, I like it.
So Janelle, what was this you're talking about going rated R? I did.
Did we meet your expectations? Did we manifest? See, your comment manifested the rating. That's how that worked. Dude, oh my god, little tree sap. Dirty chai is so gross. Ugh. I did spend some time moonlighting as a barista, not at Starbucks, at an actual coffee place. Like a mom and pop place. Was really nice. I learned how to make a lot of really good drinks, but I could not do a dirty chai. It's so gross to me. And I saw main elixir, but now I see this as man elixir. We actually have used man elixir for evocation before, so I don't know if anybody wanted to know that, but now you do. Gala Witchcraft, for example, is a sect or a group. I don't know what you call it. A group of men. I don't want to call it a gay tradition, but the self-initiation involves semen and a candle, so it probably would be considered pretty gay. So that's one of their invocations. It's a neat ritual, though. Like, truly, it's appropriately managed. It's a very nice ritual. But so I am not going to continue that topic anymore now. I feel like getting into something else.
Right.
I can talk about the Nut Lab.
The Nut Lab?
Yeah. So nutmeg has psychotropic properties, but you have to eat a lot of it to feel those properties. And at some point in my life, I was really interested in trying to do every drug I could possibly do. So somehow there is a road near where I used to live or work, actually, in Newport News, Virginia, called Nutmeg Quarter Road. And there was a long-standing joke that Brian was going to have a nut lab on the corner of Nutmeg Quarter Road because I was trying to get high off of all the nutmeg that I would need to actually get high off of it. So yeah. And yes, Little Tree Sap for sure. Blue Lotus. Don't know anything about Blue Lotus. I feel like that's a trick statement. I did get I didn't tell Rook yet, but Tulsi tea to use to help make some homemade teas and stuff. Which you really should be making me some right now, would have been nice.
Are we?
Tell he's not paying attention.
I am, but I'm.
No, not you, Rook. I can hear the TV in the other room.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I've never had it, Little Tree Sap. I'm going to try it for the first time, but I got a huge bag of it. And I'm hoping to be able to mix it with some other things because we have, you know, how I am with books, even more so with tarot. I'm the same way with essential oils and herbs and resins. So I have a shit ton of herbs and spices and all kinds of things that you can barely even find. So yeah. So where would one get Blue Lotus? Like, I need to know this now. I've had wild lettuce. Doesn't really make you kind of crazy, but yeah, we actually have been using a French press to make our teas and things and try them out. Brad's made a couple and they were pretty good. Again, I can tell he's not listening because not only can I hear things playing in the background that's not us, I can also tell that he did not get my note about tea.
All right.
I am not, Janelle. That is actually something I've really wanted to try to do, and I have done practices.
I've always wanted to do that.
I've done practices to try to do it, and I've never really gotten through it. Now, I have gone into a trance and done some astral work, but I don't consider that necessarily lucid dreaming. I have not been able to make it there. I mean, we've tried doing colored lights as we go to sleep, you know, eating certain things. Interestingly, on that topic, again, I don't think I've ever actually lucid dreamed, but I've tried really hard. I have noticed that there are some foods that I eat that will lead me into some very vivid dreams because I'm not one that often even recognizes that I have had a dream.
Right.
Maybe once a month at the most do I even recognize that I've had a dream. And people are like, oh, they don't remember it. Nobody does. I'm like, I'm not even talking about not remembering it. I don't recognize a dream has occurred at all.
Same.
So,
Same. It's like waking up from fucking black.
Yep.
From the dead,
Now,
the void of death.
The funny thing too is two things that I'm going to share that nobody wants to know about me at my age or hear it. But since the day I turned 40, I wake up at 2 o'clock every morning to pee. Never did that for 40 years. So that breaks up my sleep enough to where I have a lot of trouble, even more so with dreaming. Because it used to be I would, you know, probably go to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 5, fall right back asleep, and I'd have these amazing dreams. That hasn't happened anymore. So, kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but there are things that I've eaten like right before bed and not nut milk, so shut it. That have caused me to have some pretty vivid dreams, but not quite lucid dreaming. I would love to try that more.
And I don't remember shit. Like very, very, very rarely do I remember any dreams. I can't say that I don't dream because apparently everybody dreams, but whatever. It's just like waking up from a fucking void. Like I open my eyes, it's like, yep, I'm alive, which I guess is pretty good because then like I won't know like if I die in my sleep. Because when I go to sleep, it's like being dead. Right? So, you know. Like I guess sleeping is like what it's like to be dead, so I guess that works. Right? Like you don't know you're sleeping, right? You wake up.
Yeah. Well, the two things that are very true for me for sleeping are I don't have trouble sleeping. So it's easy for me to. I can answer that clinically paranormal in a minute too. I don't know about the rest of the people, but I sleep well. Like I go to sleep when I want to go to sleep. Most cases, I mean, obviously, sometimes I can't get to sleep when I really want to, but 99% of the time, if I'm like, oh, it's 9 o'clock, I really do need to go to bed. I'll go to bed at 9 o'clock and I will go to sleep. Like, and I will be out. But what matters is your pathway of dreaming, because not everybody dreams in the same way. So you run through all the different brain waves until you get to your REM, your rapid eye movement sleep, which is where you actually do most of your dreaming and repairing, which is then occurs in your deep sleep. But some people go from their REM sleep to a light sleep and then to a deep sleep and back. So that pathway of how you sleep kind of determines whether you remember that dream, which is why some people feel like they never dream. They are, but they are coming out of that dream state into a light sleep, which would have been the time where they would have remembered if they would have woken up, but they didn't. So you feel like you don't dream at all. Uh, that's just something that I don't know how even true that is, but that's some way it was explained to me at some point when I was saying they complain I can never dream. But I mean, I actually still remember 3 dreams that I've had since I was a very, very little kid. And they're not appropriate for this stream, but I remember them. That's probably why. And then as far as dying from dreaming, 99.9% sure, because there's always chances that somebody can die in their dreams. So when you go to sleep, in addition to melatonin, which helps regulate your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle, melatonin and a couple of other chemicals are released from your body to prevent your body from moving while you're asleep. It's why when you're sleeping and you're dreaming about running, you're not actually running. It's why you don't fall out of bed in most cases. Some people do. Now, some people have a deficiency in melatonin and or other chemicals that results in sleepwalking. In those cases, if they are dreaming and sleepwalking and or making those movements, they would die. But the dream itself, like if you get killed in your dream, you're probably not going to die. Any of those things. Your brain has different lockouts and mechanisms for managing those kind of behaviors and thoughts. But the biggest thing would be like a moment where the chemical doesn't fully keep you asleep and you lash out really hard with your arms or something and you hit your head on the table. That could happen. But yeah, so it is pretty much a myth. Because if you die during your sleep, it's not really because of the dream. It's because something else kind of screwed up. And like I said, well, sleepwalking is a result of the chemicals not pretty much, I don't want to say paralyzing your body, but preventing your body from acting out your dream. That's generally why we think sleepwalking happens, because we don't know for sure. And it's different in different cases. But stopping it, there's medications. Interestingly, the medications that stop sleepwalking are pretty much, if anybody's on them, same medications that treat psychosis. So Thorazine is one that's used for sleepwalking, among some others. Basically, it snows you.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, yo, evildoer, holy shit! It's because you sleepwalked into traffic. There you go.
That's how you die during a dream, for sure. That will kill you.
Yeah. It's the pretty lights. So we're gonna be doing a short little after show special, short little after school special for you lovely kids. In the Discord, that's gonna be it for the live for this evening. You guys have been fucking amazing. I love your goddamn faces. So thank you for joining the Malice experience this Friday, October 21st, 2022. 10 fucking days till Halloween, everybody. To Samhain.
Sam Hain, y'all. It's Sam Hain.
Samhain.
Sam Hain.
You say Sam Hain again, you'll be feeling some pain.
Sam Hain.
All right. So that's the Gilded. Jump into the Discord. We will be in the Discord hanging out for a little bit. Doing the after school special over in Discord. So come do that. Be there. Be square. All right. It's open to everybody. Y'all can come in. Every single one of you. Be there. It's more fun. The more the merrier. And as always, hail thy fucking self. Peace the fuck out, everybody. Bye.
Deuces.